Hi, I'm Deborah, and welcome to Elevated Energy, where I help you heal, grow, and glow. On this channel, you'll learn practical strategies and insights to help you improve your mindset, enhance your wellness, and create a life full of balance and purpose. So let's dive into your personal growth journey. Today, I'm talking about how guilt-free breaks can actually make you more successful and the science behind it. Ever felt guilty for taking a break even though you're exhausted? You're not alone. But the truth is, overworking is actually killing your productivity. Taking time for self-care and leisure is essential to prevent burnout and create a more sustainable pace of work. Many of us think that constant work equals success, but science says the opposite. And this topic is personal for me right now because even though I know this information, I have recently gone through a phase where I wanted to just keep working on my goals, even though I was feeling burnt out and tired. And what was happening was my mind was really cluttered. Had a running to-do list in my brain, and I couldn't really clear my thoughts to get fresh perspective, to problem solve effectively, and to think clearly. So this video is a reminder to myself to take breaks, as well as it's permission for anyone else who's watching this who needs science and evidence to give themselves permission to take breaks. And so in this video, I'll show you how guilt-free leisure actually makes you more productive, creative, and successful. There is science behind rest and productivity. The fact is that when our brains are rested, it increases focus, memory, and decision-making. Taking regular breaks helps the brain recover, boosting memory and learning capacity. Breaks also help us improve our focus. Short, intentional breaks actually reduce mental fatigue. This leads to better concentration and greater productivity. Rest also leads to better decision-making. When we're rested, we're able to process information more effectively, and this leads to better decision-making. It's so common for people to think that working more hours equals more productivity. This is the overworking paradox, because the truth is it's actually the opposite. There is a law of diminishing returns. When you're overworked, you become less productive, and the time spent working is less effective. Studies show that working too many hours leads to burnout, leading to a sharp decline in quality and efficiency. The reality is, the longer we work, the less productive and effective we are because of cognitive depletion. Rest is important to restore us and help us to return to our work refreshed, refocused, and re-energized. Studies of the 4-day work week have shown that people are actually more productive when they have strategic and planned rest and a great balance between work and rest. Rest truly is the secret of top performers. I like to think of elite athletes and how they operate. They very strategically schedule rest and breaks in order to improve their muscle recovery and to reduce their chances of injury and enhance their performance. Rest is integral to their performance. And when you think of top leaders and CEOs, they make a point of taking breaks. They may take vacations, some may attend retreats, but they know that it's really important to walk away from the work for a while in order to restore and be able to come back to the work with a fresh mindset. So why is guilt-free rest a success hack? Well, one of the reasons is that guilt-free rest actually fuels creativity. It fuels innovation. A rested brain is better able to generate ideas, fresh perspectives, and to solve problems. Breakthrough moments and moments of inspiration often happen during downtime when people are resting. Taking time away from constant focus can unlock creative thinking and allow for subconscious problem solving. I think it's something many of us have experienced where you've been working on a problem, you can't figure it out, but when you step away from it and go for a walk or do something creative, something else, that suddenly the answer comes to you. That's because the brain needed rest in order to solve the problem. And some of the greatest minds have attributed rest and relaxation to how they came up with their best ideas. Both Einstein and Steve Jobs said that some of their greatest ideas came during their downtime. Rest is also a success hack because it prevents burnout. Chronic stress and exhaustion lead to poor performance. Stress-induced burnout significantly reduces focus and work quality. So the reality is that guilt-free rest is actually stress management and self-care. Taking time for self-care and leisure is essential to prevent burnout and create a more sustainable pace of work. Guilt-free breaks are also vital for mental recovery. These breaks allow the brain to reset and put off some of the negative effects of overworking and stress. And this helps ensure a more sustained performance. Guilt-free breaks also boost motivation and energy. People who are rested work smarter, not harder. Mindful rest actually increases your motivation because after stepping away from your work, you're able to return to it with more energy. You also get an energy boost through intentional leisure time. Studies show that strategic downtime and leisure actually help to rejuvenate the mind and body. And a rejuvenated mind and body leads to a more focused approach to your work. And if you actually do something social during your downtime, it's got even more added benefits because socializing is actually a form of self-care. Studies show that people who socialize feel rejuvenated, they develop more resilience and more emotional regulation because they've spent that time away from their work and connecting to other people. So breaks actually improve your mental wellness and boost your resilience. So I really want to encourage you to enjoy guilt-free leisure time because if you're experiencing guilt during your leisure time, you're actually robbing yourself of some of the benefits of actually taking that time away from your work. So if you're like me, sometimes you might need to reframe how you think about leisure time and think of it as actually being productive. Think of it as rest that's restorative and essential and that actually supports your success. I invite you to reframe your leisure time as something that's necessary for your success and productivity so that you don't have to feel guilty about stepping away from your work. So if it helps you, think about how rest actually makes you more productive because you're actually able to rejuvenate, to clear your mind, to reduce and relieve some of the stress you may have been experiencing with your work. And all of this is going to allow you to be more productive. So if you're not taking breaks because you think it's not productive, that's something that you can really reframe and consider how taking breaks actually makes you more productive. So what you want to do is find your personal work break ratio. One popular method is the Pomodoro technique, where you work for 25 minutes and then you break for 5 minutes. And then after about 4 sessions of this, then you might take a longer break for 15 to 30 minutes. But truly it depends on your attention span, what you're working on, and your need for breaks. Sometimes if I'm very involved in a task, I might have a longer stretch of work because it actually feels more immersive. I'm able to get more done, and then take a break a little later and go longer between my breaks. So it just depends. Just remember that taking breaks is going to reduce burnout and help you to perform better, think more clearly, and work smart. So if you want to incorporate more intentional, guilt-free rest and breaks into your work life, then the first thing that I suggest is actually plan for it, schedule it, block time to take breaks. And you can do this by taking breaks throughout your day. So depending on what your day looks like, you might take a morning break, an afternoon break, or you can also take breaks strategically after different milestones on a larger project. So for instance, I take a daily break after lunch. I eat my lunch, and I go for a walk outside because taking that break actually rejuvenates me. I get some fresh air, some sunshine, and I also get some mental clarity before I come back to my desk and work. So, the other tip I would give is just to be really present with your breaks. Try to put aside the guilt. Use some of the information I've shared to reason with yourself and remind yourself why taking breaks is a good idea. And then when you've set aside time for your breaks, immerse yourself in the break. Be present with it. Don't take a break and then be running through your to-do list in your head, as I have done at times, because it totally robs you of the benefit of the break. Practice mindfulness and be with whatever it is you're doing, whether you're taking a walk and just noticing the trees or the birds, or you're engaging in a hobby. Just be with that and don't let worry and anxiety about work creep into that space if you can help it, because you'll get more benefit from that break if you're able to truly be present with that leisure time rather than having work encroach on it. So, what I want you to take away from this is that guilt-free breaks are not a luxury, they are a necessity, and they are vital for success. And if you want to be a top performer, you have to strategically and intentionally plan guilt-free breaks, because taking breaks is going to boost your productivity. Breaks improve your focus, your concentration, and your creativity. And that's where you'll find the mental energy and clarity to solve problems and to develop a more sustainable pace of work. Leisure time is essential to avoid exhaustion, to reduce stress, and to really perform optimally. So, I invite you to shift your mindset and think about intentional leisure time, intentional guilt-free breaks as an opportunity to support yourself to be a high producer, to perform at the top of your game, because breaks are an integral part of peak performance and personal success. Find the method that works for you, but plan your breaks. Spend some time thinking about what kinds of breaks actually restore you. And there are different kinds of breaks. Plan what small breaks might look like and what larger breaks might look like. I personally do exercises during some of my short breaks. And I may just get up from my chair and move my body and do some exercise that revitalizes me and gets my blood flow going. The point is to find a balanced work rest schedule so that you don't become overworked and burnt out, and so that you can maintain your energy, your focus, your creativity, your productivity, and your ability to solve problems and innovate. So I would love to know what your favorite ways are to take a break and recharge. So drop a comment below. Let me know what you do, how you take your breaks, what kinds of activities you engage in. I love learning from other people about what they do, because there's such great diversity in how we think and what works for us. Please share your personal strategies for how you stay balanced and productive. And if you got anything out of this video, please like and subscribe. And if you're ready to take your personal growth to the next level, contact me and book a free consultation so we can get started on your personal growth journey.